So my name's Eleanor. I am the float host here, but more importantly, what I am here to do is just provide an opportunity for you to experience something that is quite unique. It is very different to anything else that you would have experienced before. And so as long as you're open to new experiences, then you'll take away a lot of positives with this, regardless of whether you're coming with physical or mental pain. So if you're experiencing any sort of mental or physical health issues, what flotation therapy can do is create an environment where we're either eliminating or restricting all of the external stimuli, and what that does is allow your mind to calm. It allows your mind to let go and relax. Basically a space where you can allow your mind to calm, to not worry about the external stimuli. We're going to create an environment where either we hopefully eliminate, but at least restrict all of that external stimuli that comes in. So you can just relax. That's all you need to do. It's a very simple thing, but it's really effective. Our lives get so busy that we don't tend to allow ourselves the opportunity to just down tools and relax. Giving yourself that opportunity to do that is really important, and I think once you've actually done it, you realise how great you feel afterwards, how calm you feel, how refocused you feel, so that the things that were coming in to create that overwhelming feeling don't push your buttons so much anymore. It's lovely to be able to see the before and afters of people. When they come, sometimes they don't give it away. They don't tell me about it, but you can see it. You can see the stress, you can see the anxiety, you can see the depression. It's in the way that they hold themselves, the way they communicate. The person that comes out of that float pod is like a different person. They look happier, they look younger, they look calmer. People tend to float away as they leave. You could see them, they just glide, they're happy, they stand taller, they walk straighter, they don't they don't hunch over. It's very rewarding to see. I love it. What inspired me to get into this business? It was something that it just sort of happened. It was an opportunity that just presented itself, and I thought that opportunity was just too good to miss. I'm actually a strong believer in there's a reason for everything happening, and that the choices that you make help shape your lives, so you don't need to stay on that one path. This is very different to anything else that I have done in my life, and it is by far the most rewarding. Financially, not rewarding, but that's not what I went into this for. It's that the feeling that you're making a difference, you know? I think we're all put on here to do something, and maybe this is my thing. I personally floated 35 years ago, so I was very aware of what floating can do and how it made you feel. I was also aware of how people would find it a little bit challenging to start with because it is so different. My self-care routine, it's changed a lot. I used to rely on physical activity as my self-care. I was training for a Ironman event this year. It was going to be Kona 2020, which is a full triathlon. So that meant I had to train through swim, bike and run. So many hours every day doing that. So that was my self-care thing. I would get up, I would train. It was hard, but you feel good about yourself. Now, since COVID, the triathlons have stopped. So I've changed focus, and now my self-care routine is more about doing things that I have let go in the past, like a refocus of things. I spend more time certainly with my partner, with my husband, and enjoy a walk along the beach. It was always they would go for a walk and I would be here, I would be training. And now I don't feel the need to train, so therefore I join them on their walk. I also like to try and float once a week, overnight floats. I do very long floats. Since COVID-19, there has been a lot more people coming to deal with their mental stresses. I think it's been quite interesting. There's been a lot of positives, I think, come from COVID. Certainly from the enforced lockdown period where people's lives changed, their routines changed, and that created a lot of stress for people. But it also gave them the opportunity to reassess their priorities, to refocus on what was really important to them. Spending their time at home, some of them were still working from home as well, so they were dealing with trying to be there for their children, trying to be there mentally for their work, trying to do home life. So they were juggling a lot of things. Overall, I think there was a lot of positivity that was taken from it because of the mere fact that they prioritised personal time, family with their kids. I think for the first time, a lot of people really connected with their children in a very calm, uninterrupted way. And there have been some people that have struggled with that, the isolation, but mostly people have found they enjoyed the lockdown. They enjoyed being with themselves, you know, they're just doing things that they wanted to do, not worry about deadlines, not worry about meeting targets, not worrying about dressing up, not worrying about traffic, not worrying about time, because it didn't matter. You woke up, nobody was going to come and visit you, so you didn't need to worry about getting dressed up, doing your hair, doing your makeup. You could just be you and you could just relax. And it's the first time I think a lot of people had the opportunity to just relax. There is a lot more depression than well, I realised, actually. People mask it very effectively. They, on the outside, appear to be quite calm and together. On the inside, they're a screaming mess. Once people come out from their floats, they are more open to talk about what they're dealing with. I think having the opportunity to just calm their mind and declutter everything gives them that clarity that they feel comfortable to just talk, to just offload. There's no judgment here, there's no counselling involved, it's just an opportunity for them to offload. And yeah, it's pretty scary that there's no specific demographic that this mental health is confined to. It's across all ages, male, female, young, old, and yeah, people are struggling to just cope with things. And a lot of people struggle to talk about it. I think females cope better in that environment anyway. I think they talk about their things, they talk about their issues. They're much more comfortable doing that. Men, on the other hand, males have this, they've never been encouraged to talk about their emotions or their feelings, and they feel that they need to put on a brave face and just cope. and they feel a lot of responsibility towards that. And if they're not fulfilling what they feel is what the expectations that they put on themselves and what they feel other people expect them to do, then they feel a certain level of failure, and it takes its toll. It takes its toll in how they feel within themselves, but also how they relate to other people. I think people are becoming more comfortable to talk about mental health issues. So I think it's been improving over the years, the awareness factor anyway. There's been a lot more social media, I think, covering it. People are being touched by things, suicide, breakdowns, and it's happening a lot. So people are having that personal connection with some of these things, and learning to deal with them is it's just a community thing. You know, you have a friend of my son's committed suicide at school, and the school community dealt with it together themselves. It was really hard. It was probably you hear about it, but once it's in sort of the circle that you are in, it touches you very, very deeply, and you relate it to the impact on the people around you. It's not just, it's horrible that it's happened, but it's the effect on the people around that you are very, very connected to. So you feel it. So I think there's a greater awareness from just dealing with that and coping as a community. Certainly Mental Health Awareness Week and those sort of things, I think it's important to have those because people just get so tied up in their lives that they don't think about it. So having things like our triathlon club, we had Black Dog Racing, which is a mental health group, and we had their logo, which was quite a sort of ferocious bulldog all over our uniforms. And every time we raced and wore our uniforms, it was getting that image out there, and people would ask, what is this Black Dog Racing? And so then you were able to sort of say it's creating an awareness of mental health issues. And so it has been happening slowly over the years, but I think awareness has really come to the fore over the last, I don't know, probably the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I think probably things that can be improved to raise awareness is giving people options and choices of things and places that they can go. Even things like this, even things like floatation therapy, that it has such a positive impact on people. And yet there's still a lot of people that don't know about it. It would be really great if there was an opportunity to actually communicate. I think things like what you're doing here is great to raise awareness, because people, even if they don't feel comfortable to talk about it with other people, just hearing that it is an issue and that there are other people that are dealing with it and it's okay, allows them to become more comfortable, and then hopefully they will talk to somebody. Seek out one of the men's groups. You know, I think what you're doing is just amazing. Yes. It's really been a bit of a journey from a very young age. I lost my mum when I was 2 years old. So my life from that point was never what you would call normal. There were a lot of challenges that I faced in my childhood, which continued in my teens. and I made a lot of decisions, some which perhaps I regret, but were still decisions that I made at those choices, I guess, that I made at that time. I had a baby when I was a teenager, which I adopted out, and grew up very quickly as a result of that. And I think trying to find myself for a period of time after that sent me down different paths, and the things that I found that helped was definitely being with people, talking with people, not shutting myself away, not feeling sorry for myself, but knowing that the decisions I was making was not just for myself, but also for the benefit of my child, who was going to have a much better life with their adoptive family than what I could have provided. And the choices through each of these, and there's been a lot of, I don't say traumas, but a lot of experiences that I have dealt with over the years, and how I've dealt with them has really ended up moulding me into the person that I am. It's made me very empathetic. I can actually relate to a lot of the things that my clients will tell me about. Some of the things I've even personally experienced, but I understand their sense of loss. I understand their sense of anger at certain things. People are dealing with things that they feel are totally out of control, that they can't control. And that's okay. You don't need to control everything. You just are responsible for what you choose to do as a result of that. And I think finding the Floatation Sanctuary was great for me, great for my mental health journey, and it's great that it's helping other people on their mental health journeys as well. Just don't sweat the small stuff. It's really easy to get tied up in the detail, and in the big picture, it'll be okay. Everything will be okay. Everybody's path's a bit different, and where you go will create you as an individual, you as a person. Your experiences build who you are, and I think just accept it. Just be proud on the decisions that you make and the journey that you're going on.